Okay, welcome to Tanking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. Here with me is Anthony Conover. And we're going to recap Week 15. And I like a few things in Week 16. Week 15, this might be a little bit longer than it has been, even though it has been short. But we got a lot of things to talk about. Hey, you want to do the recap?
Yeah, let's get into it. The Falcons at the Buccaneers. Falcons win 29-28. Bucks do not cover the 4.5. Cardinals at the Texans. Texans were 9.5-point favorites. They win 40-20, so they get the cover there.
Yeah, but the line was close.
Yeah.
By 19. No, it wasn't. Go ahead.
The Raiders at the Eagles. Eagles were 12.5-point favorites. They won 31-0, so cover. The Jets at the Jaguars. The Jags win 48-20. They were 11.5-point favorites.
Another one that's not even close. Go ahead.
The Browns at the Bears. Bears were 7.5-point favorites. They get a 31-3 victory. Not close again. The Bills at the Patriots. The Bills were 1-point favorites, and they win 35-31, so they do cover.
Okay, let's talk about that game for a minute. Okay, I told you for I liked a lot of games last week. Was a conundrum. I don't like when I like a lot of games because you got to put my feet to the fire. Okay. That particular game, I'd never seen anything like it in the officiating.
No, terrible.
And not because I threw it into a parlay for Haas, because I had another loss with Cincinnati. I like the home team underdogs at 1 o'clock. Matter of fact, I liked a lot of home team underdogs. We'll get into that later. And I think the most controversial thing that happened in the game, and I don't think it was controversial, I thought it was silly. I mean, it was a blatantly bad call. Okay, New England was driving, and listen, the only New York team we have is the Bills, but I don't bet with my heart. I don't bet against with my heart, but I like New England in that game as a home team underdog. And Josh Allen is tough to go with. The guy's Superman. I mean, it's the truth. But New England's a team I've been touting to possibly go all the way this year. I've been saying it since last year. I don't think there was a Cinderella team this year. Last year, I think they were. But anyway, there was a bunch of calls that weren't called. Right. And New England in the Tom Brady years was always suspect of getting calls going their own way. I don't see that this year.
No.
Or last. So I think the way it went is it was a very long third down, correct?
No, it was fourth down, actually. That's even worse.
Long fourth down. And it was a hell of a completion, pretty close to the goal line, right? It was in the red zone.
Yeah, I think it got him down to it might have been the 15, 10 area. Yeah, somewhere in there.
But they went a distance.
Yeah.
It wasn't a short pass.
No.
So the receiver, they were battling for the ball. The receiver comes up with the ball.
No, other way around. Patriots
Bills were going on a fourth down, yes.
Yeah.
And they throw it. I apologize. And the Bills throw the ball, and the New England player caught the ball. They were battling for it. They go down, and they were battling it. They call it interception, even though New England comes up with the ball and caught it the whole time.
They called it a catch for the Bills.
Yeah, but New England caught it.
I know. It should have been an interception.
It should have been an interception. So they miscalled, and you watched the New England player catch the ball. Now, I can see them calling the pass interference, because you could call pass interference on any play if you really wanted to, if they're battling. But usually what I like about this time of the year, and what I really like about the playoffs is the Super Bowls, they usually let them play.
Yeah.
A little bit more than the nonsense. Because theoretically, you could call a penalty every play.
Especially in big games, too.
And that was a big game. Now, I'm not unhappy that the Bills won, but we were getting points with the Patriots, so we could have had it both ways. But, however, I don't know how you could call it a catch if the receiver doesn't catch the ball. I mean, they battled, but there was no possession. The defender caught the ball, got up, had the ball in his hand, and they ruled it a catch and a penalty.
Yeah, it was the Bills got it either way because it was pass interference on the Patriots, and then they ruled it a catch for the Bills anyway. So,
and New England caught a call bad way. That was bad officiating. Do I think they fixed it? I don't know. That was bad calls.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of calls that were nowhere near as close to that got called, and then there were calls that were blatant that didn't get called.
Yeah, I mean, one of the last...
And it was all against New England or for the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, one of the last drives of the game, Patriots went for it on fourth down. Pretty clear that Stephon Diggs was being held on his route. That didn't get called.
Yes.
So
they had a handful of shirt.
Yeah, a couple, you know, I mean, there was one in the first quarter where the Patriots, well, actually, no, it's not even the Patriots' fault. The Bills never challenged the play, so too bad. Never mind. I take that back.
Well, I went both ways, but it was bad officiating.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it was fixed. I think it was real bad officiating. Okay. Well, maybe they had a wasser or whatever, or they're indulging in the pharmaceutical marijuana that's legalized. All right, let's go. Or hashish or acid.
All of the above, maybe.
Or sulfuric acid or something. Smoking ping pong balls.
The Ravens at the Bengals. Ravens were 2.5-point favorites. They shut out the Bengals 24-0. The Chargers at the Chiefs.
Okay, we got a few things to say about that game.
Chargers at the Chiefs, yeah. Chargers win 16-13. Chiefs were 4.5-point favorites, so don't cover.
That was one of the teams I had in the parlay, which I told you not to bet. I mean, you could have, but it was for ha-has. Go ahead.
Actually, I mean, obviously.
Well, the big news there is
I was going to say Mahomes. Yeah, the Chiefs lose the game, which eliminated them from the playoffs, yes. And at the same time, Mahomes tore his ACL. So look to see. I don't know when he's going to be back next year. I think it's like a 9-month recovery. So,
well, wish him luck, speedy recovery.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
You know, he's one of the important people in the game. I'd like to see him play. Go ahead.
Commanders at the Giants. Commanders win 29-21. Giants were 2-point favorites. They don't cover.
Not even close.
The Colts at the Seahawks. The return of Phillip Rivers from 5 years of retirement. Seahawks were 11.5-point favorites. They win 18-16. Kicked 6 field goals. So
that was amazing. I think that's the first time in history that the Colts have kicked 6 field goals in a game, right?
Well, the Seahawks made 6 field goals.
I mean, the Seahawks, yeah. I mean, it's the first time.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's the first time in history the Colts brought it. I mean, I always liked Rivers as a quarterback. I still do. I mean, I'm not one to talk at this point until I get my surgery and I'm living in the gym. But I'm not used to this. But I'll tell you the truth, he didn't play bad.
It's crazy. He was a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame, and now he's playing. So it resets his clock. It's weird. So
it is. It's right.
So now he has to wait another 5 years again to the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think it was worth it from the play. He really looked. You should see him when he threw the touchdown. I mean, he was into it.
He was certainly
his
into it.
muscle tone did not look good.
No, well, listen, I can't talk. We looked a little pudgy.
I'm talking about the muscle tone. I'm about the fat. Go ahead.
The Packers at the Broncos. Packers were 2.5-point favorites, but the Broncos win 34-26. So no cover there. The Panthers at the Saints. Saints win 20-17. Panthers were 2.5-point favorites.
That was our pick of the week, and it went down. There's some things to say about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think the clear thing is you're up 7 points. It's a fourth down. You kick a field goal to make it 10 in a 2-possession game, and they decide not to do it. And I wish I could understand what goes into making a decision like that.
I have a gentleman that we've been together for quite a while out of Philadelphia. Very, very big better, follows my picks. He's one of the people I listen to because he's on both sides of the fence, so to speak. And I don't mean Democrat and Republic, so I'll read between the lines. And this is the text he sent me. So, it's sad because originally I wanted to go with the Broncos. And I told him this because I talked to him late Sunday night, early Monday morning. And then I called him and I says, I believe, and I thought it was a better bet going with the Panthers. And I tell you the truth, we should have won that game. Why they don't kick a field goal is beyond me. And what I really don't understand is why you're lining in tight with your receivers. I can see if you and that's just running up the middle. I mean, they telegraphed where they were going. One of the things I liked about the Panthers inherently that they played, and they weren't going along with analytics. I think some of these teams that are not doing great and starting to get into big games are scared the coaches to make their own decisions. So I think they follow the computer. And let me tell you, analytics, you can stick that where the sun don't shine, along with your artificial intelligence. So I never coached in the pros where they wouldn't let me anyway. But I've coached at a lot of levels for 33 years, which you know. And I did very well. But I like the kids and I like teaching them. But I never understood if you're going to line in tight, bring your bigger guys in so they can think you're going for whatever. When you're putting your receivers there and lining them in tight, I don't get it. Unless you're going to run to the outside. So, and the other thing is when you're that close, quarterback sneak it. Don't hand backwards. You're already now losing 2 or 3 yards.
Yep.
But the bottom line is they should have kicked the field goal. You're up by 7 against the Saints, which inherently is not known for their potent offense.
No.
It's late in the game, and they cost themselves the game. Now, let's move forward.
What are you going to say about the roughing the passer at the end, too?
That is the most ridiculous, dumbest, stupidest, asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, after you do that, okay, game's tied.
Mm-hmm.
Got a shot in overtime, and I really believe the Panthers had an edge being home overtime if you get to there. All right. 9 seconds left. What's going in ends up 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, to set up at that point in time, might have taken more than 9 seconds. It's happened more than once. Who came up? It was the safety, right?
I don't know exactly what player it was.
Whatever it was, the quarterback slides. He doesn't make the first down. He's not near the first down, which didn't matter anyway because there's 9 seconds, and he helmets him. And he started sliding before that.
Yeah, no,
They were just looking to get closer for a field goal, but where they got was not close enough. The guy's longest is 54, and that would have been a 62-yard.
Yeah, it was.
So his career long was 54, and it was a 62-yard field goal. They get the 15-yard penalty. So instead of a 62-yard field goal, it's 47.
47, yeah.
Right? 15 and 47 is 62. I don't know if he would have made the 62, but as long in history, long as 54. But 47 is really not uncommon in the NFL. It's still a decent field goal, but 62 is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, 60, there's been like 11, I want to say, or maybe a little bit more now. In the history of the NFL, 60-plus yard field goals. So,
as you know, I've keyed on the Panthers in the past, especially to win outright against good teams last year. That's why I hit the parlays. I've taken them with points, and we've done well. I got to tell you, what I saw that they did, that analytics, there's no reason you don't kick that field goal. Not against the New Orleans Saints. Maybe if you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Playing a powerhouse offense.
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe you're playing Joe Burrows, even if they're not doing great, he can score.
Mm-hmm.
Because the New Orleans Saints are up 7, and you don't want to kick a field goal, and you get stopped at the goal line on a 4th down. Ridiculous, in my opinion. But, however, what was more ridiculous, in my opinion, was that helmet-to-helmet roughing the passer. Now, you and I and everybody knows the rule is you call no jelly as soon as you slide. And it didn't be like he hit him as soon as he slid.
No.
I mean, he was sliding into home. I mean, he went a distance. So it was disheartening. We lost. A loose was a loose. I own it. I eat it. However, I'll show you the text. It's actually hysterical. But here's what it really cost us. Because I put the ha-has in at 1 o'clock, so I would stay away from any of them as the main game. I did like the Panthers. I love the Broncos with the points. I didn't know if they were going to win outright, but I loved them, which Anthony knows. But the game I really loved, with a real good shot to win, was the Vikings. And I liked them outright.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Anthony talked about this. This is after the show. So I had passed that on to this fellow in Philadelphia. Let's give him his initials, BM. Get it? BM? Okay. So here's what he says. Carolina cost me $121,355. Fucking stink. I knew it. New Orleans owns them. I never heard that. When he didn't kick the field goal, 4th and 1, that was game. I was so angry. I'm so angry right now. previous. Should have stood with your first pick ever. Carolina, they fucking blow. I don't understand the coach who didn't go before they kicked the field goal when they were 7. Fucking idiot. I think that just about says it. I don't think if I read as much.
He does a pretty good job.
About him. He bets pretty heavy. And what he did do was he went with my Broncos money line because he said he liked them outright. I said I liked them with the points. I don't know if I paid him. And I told him I love
The Vikings. Yep.
money line.
Vikings. Yep.
Yeah, which is a nice size money line. And he had him with San Diego money line, which I told him I liked. Okay. And that's the way the ball bounced in that game. So I think it was a 4 or 5 team parlay, all money dogs. He put a serious amount of money back, and he lost himself $121,000 because he threw the Panthers in there, which they were laying points, but he didn't take money with him. So he went with me down the line. So we stayed with the Broncos and eliminated the Panthers. He makes $121,000. That's the way the ball bounces, BM. We're going to call you BM. And it's not bowel movement. Long story short, I'll tell you a quick story when we get to the end about him. It's a really nice story. Where we at it? Go ahead.
That would be at the Lions at the Rams. Rams were 5.5 point favorites. They win 41 to 34, so they cover. Do they cover? Yeah, they cover.
Depends on when you got it. I think it opened higher, right?
I'd have to go back and look, honestly. But the Titans at the 49ers.
Don't look so empathetic.
The 49ers were 12.5 point favorites. They win 37 to 24. Got a cover.
I think that opened 13.5.
Yeah, it depends on where you got it at.
Yeah,
if you
go ahead. But it's close.
Yeah.
You got 2 that were close. That's better than most weeks have been.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence. Right.
Vikings at the Cowboys. Cowboys were 6. I think it got down this game. It got down to 5.5. Vikings win 34 to 26, so no cover.
So I feel bad for Anthony because he calls me up and because I told him if the Panthers win, to put in the Broncos getting the points and the Vikings in a 2-team parlay plus the money line, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We already had the instructions. So he knows that if I lose the main pick, I don't chase. That's the discipline. That's why I'm trying to show you. Sometimes it works for you. Most of the time it works against you. It works like quicksand. When you're losing, it starts losing. The 1 o'clocks was just, I like home team underdog, and I said that was the high odds. If you want to bet it, I don't advise it. But however, I was strong on that, and I was strong on the Broncos, so I thought I'd put the Broncos in the parlay and go with because that's how strong I was on the shot with the Vikings getting on 6.5 the money line, and they don't come around often, and to put them in a parlay and have a shot. It's what we're about here. I've said that. So Anthony calls me up and says, what do you think? Do you want to do it? I said, Anthony, I love the Vikings outright. He says, I think you're a little crazy, but you've been right. Correct?
Yeah.
So he says, but the discipline is we don't chase. I agree with him. I mean, he was kicking himself today. I didn't get mad, right? I didn't show anything. But if you're going to have a system, stay with your system. Don't alter it. Don't bet more because you're stuck. Don't let them pull you in. I mean, if you bet multiple games, stay with your opening program. What happens during that day, don't let it affect you. I mean, this is a case of it could have been. I mean, if BM doesn't change with me to Panthers, he wins $131,000. So he should have stayed with his initial. What was my initial? But he should have stayed with it initially. So, man, I'll be honest with you, I like getting points in a parlay better than laying them. I think the Panthers was the best pick on the board, and how I know it's forget the experience, remember the lesson. And if you put this scenario there again, I go with the Panthers again.
Yeah,
under that scenario, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so empathetic. I'm coughing to death over here. That's a hell of a way to be the star of the show. I got to die. Go ahead.
Last game was Monday night. Dolphins at the Steelers. Steelers are 3-point favorites. Got a 28-15 victory and cover.
Okay. Now, let's go into week 16. I like a few games. I'm going to be clear about it. I hate a few games. I don't have to be clear about it. Thursday night game. Division game. This is what's really interesting, and I don't understand it. They opened up 47.5 and dropped to 42, or it went up.
No,
In the parentheses, it
yeah.
went down.
Yep.
That's a 5-point drop. It can only be because the receivers out for the Rams.
Yeah, and then I mean, like I said too. I mean,
but he's the number 2, right?
Yeah, Colts. I mean, the Colts only scored these 6 field goals against the Colts, so maybe people are just thinking the Seahawks offense is a little.
Well, the Colts defense played extra
No, they
hard.
did. They played well.
Yeah, they played well. They like Rivers. Don't count him out. You know, a quarterback can't do much for the defense other than try and keep him off the field, and he seemed to inspire them. I think their playoff hopes are alive with him. I hope they are. You know, I'd like to see an 87-year-old guy win.
He's a grandfather, literally.
I'm 64. I'm not a grandfather.
No, Philip Rivers is. I'm saying.
I like Philip Rivers.
I'm saying it's crazy. He's a
I don't mind the belly, but he's got his arms in shape.
A grandfather playing in the NFL. What a time.
Yeah. Listen, he came off the couch.
9 kids, I think he has.
Yeah, 22. So anyway, and same wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. God bless them. I wish them a long health and happiness, those kids. Okay. Thursday Night Football. Rams at Seahawks. It's one of the few times, even though the Seahawks opened 1, I would have liked the Rams getting points. I don't like to go against home team underdog, but I think the Rams are a powerhouse. I think you'd underestimate. I mean, it could be anybody's game, but if anybody's got a shot to beat the Seahawks this week, is the Rams. They're fired up. And I like the Seahawks, but I'm leaning towards the Ram. I mean, I have 3 stars, 5 stars just to bet them, or 4. I have 3 stars next to the Rams. I don't know how it's going to affect. Well, let's see what happens moving forward. Saturday, we have a Saturday game. When they have Saturday games, I hate it, but we got it. Division game. Eagles opened up 5.5, went to 6.5 against the Commanders. I stay away from games that open 5.5 inherently. I usually like in division games, home team underdog. I don't know what the Commanders have. They think they made a good showing, but I don't think they played a great team, right? Who'd they play?
They beat the Giants 29-21.
I don't know. I like home team underdog. I mean, I don't think the Eagles are going to get excited to beat the Commanders, but it is a division game, so it's important. So watch out for that. Okay, Saturday, we got the Packers against the Bears. Packers opened 3, and it went to, what happened?
Down to 1.5.
What?
Down to 1.5.
Down to 1.5. I got to tell you, I like the Bears all day long in that division game. Getting 1.5, I would have loved them at 3. I got 4 stars next to them, 4, right?
Yeah.
I have 5 is my most. I'll explain to you what I do with that. I think the difference is I think the Packers are not the best at play calling. I said what really separates the Bears is their offensive coordinator from Detroit came over as head coach, and the offensive coordinator for the Bears is fantastic, and it's really decided games for them.
Yeah.
Because if you ask what was special about the Bears, it's that.
Their run game has been great this season too.
What?
Their run game, like their.
Yeah, but their play calling.
No, that's part of the play calling. Yeah. And of course,
they kicked the field goal.
And yeah, no, they probably would. And then of course, Micah Parsons tore his ACL for the Packers too, so he's out for the year.
Yeah, so I am considering the Bears very much so as my bet. Okay, Bills opened 8.5, went to 10, went to 10.5 against the Browns. Listen, I don't think the Bills are going to get excited to play the Browns on the road. There could be a backdoor cover, but I'm going to tell you something. Anything's possible with Josh Allen. I mean, I really believe he could throw the ball and catch it and then kick it off and then tackle the runner. I mean, the guy's amazing. I mean, Steve Allen is not much I can say good about him. Okay, thank God it's the only New York team we have. Jets at the Saints. Saints opened 3, went to 4, went to 4.5. I don't like that team this week. I don't like the Jets this week. Let's move on. Vikes against the Giants. I think the Vikes are out of it, right?
They are.
The Giants are out of it. Giants usually like to come on at the end of the year for spoils, so they're not spoiling anything. So I got to tell you, open to 1.5, went to 3. Vikings, people are playing for their jobs there. Coaches are playing for their jobs. They're still the team they were last year, but they got rid of Darnold. Win 14 games for a team, and they put you on waivers to Buffalo.
And now he has 11 wins for the Seahawks.
He had a good season no matter what happens.
Yeah.
That'll be back-to-back.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know how good he is in the clutch games. But let me tell you something. He plays good. Okay. I have 3 stars next to the Vikings. Okay. Division game, Bucks against the Panthers. Bucks open 1.5, went to 3. That's because of the Panthers and their play calling. It's an important game for the Panthers.
I think this is probably going to determine the division.
Yes. I'm anticipating the Panthers to play good football right up until they have to make a call. That was the dumbest play calling I've ever seen in my life. Kick the field goal against the Saints. Against the Buccaneers, I could see them going for it. Against the Saints?
No.
They scored 3 touchdowns in 4 years. No, that's not true. Last year they came on very strong the first 3 weeks. Fizzled out. I know they sucked me in. Okay. Buccaneers against the Saints, the Panthers. I don't like to go against home team underdog, but it's a division game. I got to tell you the truth, that the Panthers keep calling the ball and playing important games like that. Bad play calling, bad discipline, and there's no reason to go helmet to helmet on a guy quarterback that slides. I mean, they had a shot to win it, they blew it. They had a shot to tie it, to win it in overtime, they blew that too. And horrible team.
Agreed.
So when I can't evaluate what a coach is going to do in scenarios, it's time to stay away. Okay, Chiefs. Chiefs open 11.5, went to 3.5 against the Titans. Who's the backup for the Chiefs?
That would be Gardner Minshew.
Any good? What did he play for? He was for the.
He was on the Jags to start out. Had the mustache.
Didn't he go to another team?
He's been to a few places. He was on the Eagles.
Let's skip over that. Once again, we hope Mahomes gets better. When he gets better, I hope he comes back and doesn't do that fake stuff because they're really hitting him. Okay, Chargers against the Cowboys. Cowboys open 1.5, went to 2, went to 2.5. Cowboys in contention. The Eagles have to lose out.
Yeah, the Eagles have to lose.
They have to win out.
Yeah, so not really.
All right. I think the Chargers would like to win that game. Right?
I would probably say so. I
don't like to go against home team, but I got to tell you right there, I like the Chargers. I like it better if they get Phillip Rivers. No, I'm only kidding. He's doing a really good job for them, Herbert. I like the Chargers in that game, plus the 2.5. I don't know why they are. The line is moving up a full point.
Yeah.
I can't figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Bengals. Oh, that was another interesting game. I put them in a 3-team parlay. The Bengals, what they lose?
24-0.
Got shut out.
First shutout of Joe Burrow's career.
Yeah, I don't think he liked that. And I don't think it was much because if you take the 6.5 points off or whatever it was we took with them,
2.5.
Okay, to win it, I think we had to score 13 points, right? It
was 2.5 spread.
2.5. No, didn't it go higher?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Kansas City game with the Chargers. Well, however, 2.5. Where are we with them? Let's see,
24-0.
24-0. You take the 2.5 off. That's
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Joe Burrow can't score 3 touchdowns.
You would expect him to.
Yeah,
especially against the Ravens. Those games are usually.
He had a bad game. He's entitled to it.
38.
He's been battling for 2 seasons, had an injury, but. All things being equal, I'd probably make that same bet again. Okay, Bengals against the Dolphins. Open 1.5, went to 2.5. Dolphins open 1.5, went to Dolphins 1, then went back. Is that 2.5?
Yes,
Bengals?
Yes, it is.
I got to tell you, I can't evaluate that game. I don't care what the Dolphins did last week, but if Joe Burrows doesn't come to play, Cincinnati can't play. And they don't have a defense.
True. No, they do not.
They don't have a defense. Okay, 4:00 games. Falcons, Cardinals. I can't understand this. Open 1.5, went to Falcons 2.5. I like the Falcons. There are times that I have one with the Cardinals. I haven't keyed on them this year, but I think there was some injuries and other stuff.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, their wide receiver. They're kind of all messed up.
I don't like to go against home team underdog, but I'll give that 1 star. That's up to you. If you ask my opinion, I'm going to get 1 star. Okay, 4:00, Jaguars against the Broncos. Broncos are a team I key upon. They opened 2.5. They went to 3. I got to tell you, Jaguars are playing good ball. I got 3 stars next to the Jags. So I'm considering the Jaguars. and I think the Jaguars could use the game, right?
Yeah, so they are the 3 seed right now. The Broncos are the number 1 seed. I think they're like 2 games back of them, though. So even if they win this game, they wouldn't move up past the Broncos. But if the Broncos were to stumble down the line, they could. So.
Yes. Jaguars have more of a reason to fight for this game.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like the way the Jaguars are playing. I like the Broncos. Their offense is not as potent as I like to say the Jags are. So let's see how the quarterback does with pressure, because I know the Broncos are going to bring it.
Yes.
So I have 4 stars next to that one. I have 4 stars next to the Bears. I have 4 stars next to the Chargers. I have 3 stars next to the Vikings. Now let's go to the 4 o'clock. Steelers against Lions. The Steelers, you don't need me to tell you about. Lions at home went from 6.5 to 7, back to 6.5. I think that's too much to lay. And I'm afraid to take it with the Steelers. I don't like to go against the Lions at home. Raiders. Raiders against the Texans. Texans opened 12.5, went to 14.5. I have to tell you, people ask me what was my opinion of what happened in the Raiders a couple of weeks back. Okay, I'm going to tell you, and I told the story on Thanksgiving, 3 seconds left. Raiders needed a field goal to cover, but were winning the game. But however, if the field goal gets blocked, they could lose the game outright. 3 seconds left. You're supposed to take a knee. They bring on their field goal kicker. They kick the ball to cover the game. No way you're supposed to do that. A lot of controversy. 74 playoffs against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The refs had to send, John Madden was the coach, our coach at the time, and I like John Madden, big fan, may he rest in peace. He was crazy. That was a great team, Otis Sistrunk, and they're always the bad boys of football. But the Davises liked to bet. But it was they were underdogs against no, I think they were favorites against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 74 playoffs, and they came out with their jerseys axle greased. So the ref sends them back in for all of them to change their jerseys. And the defense had their great jerseys, axle. It was amazing. You couldn't crab them, you couldn't tackle them, you couldn't block them. They were just slithering around. And it was one of the most controversial games because it was one of the games where Stickum was made illegal. Fred Biletnikoff, one of the greatest combinations with the snake stabler. He wasn't overly fast. That's why he wore absolutely no pads except thigh pads. And I believe he caught a ball and he had so much stickum on him, the ref had to put his foot up to pull the ball off. So in goes Fred Biletnikoff to change his jersey. So to have an entire team sent in to change their jerseys pre-game because they had axle greases. And it started with the axle grease and they noticed it, And so if you ask my opinion, when you have a owner, and in order to do this stuff, the owner has to really have to be in cahoots. And there's no doubt that the Davis family bets after those 2 outings. Because usually on a normal team, there would be fines and stuff like that if you axle grease the jerseys.
You would imagine.
And you dip your receiver and stick them. Okay. Where we at now? That's
Patriots Ravens.
Okay. Patriots at the Ravens. I got 4 stars. Net to the Patriots, getting 2.5, open 2.5, still 2.5. I don't think the Ravens is as good as they've been. I didn't think the Ravens played good. I thought the other team played bad last week. 49ers -6 at Colts. Listen, 49. I don't like to go against home team underdogs. I don't have an opinion on a game. I don't like to bet single games in a nationally broadcast because people play above there, whatever. But always remember the 49ers, they don't really go to stop it. They have one of the most advanced offensive schemes in the league. And they play their scheme, not just to be anything. So, I don't know. I just didn't think they would do it when they were injured. But they do. That's their thing. Okay. I'll give you the story with Jules. Well, excuse me. BM. And it's not for bowel movement. So this is how I meet him. So what happens is the state and the government is chasing me around pretty good when I had sports offices. I was pretty big. And I want to get a few things straight on that too. So anyway, what usually happens is you take a bunch of violations, you get pinched, till you take a bunch of misdemeanors, and finally they give you a felony. And you take it with no time in New York state law, because nobody wants to sentence a gambler. You get caught with another a felony, you get 2 to 4. So I didn't have any felonies. They were just chasing me around, trying to get to that point, because they didn't want to retire me early. And if there's a hall of fame of bookmakers being chased around, it's me. Forget about the other stuff. And I was advanced in my techniques and the things I did. So they wanted to know something about something, so they were tickling the wire. And actually, it's easy to get a wire, but they don't usually stand up on bookmaking offices because it starts out as a felony, but it's always pleaded down. Yeah, to violate your rights, they have to put a pen register. They have to look where you're going. They have to identify you there. They have to watch. They have to count the calls in compared to the calls out. They have to trace the numbers, and then they get a thing, and then they get a warrant off the wiretap, and that's what happens. Okay. All right, so it's a complex thing, so they got to want you pretty bad. So what they really wanted to do with me, they were bothering me about something. They wanted information. I think I would tell them I didn't go to school. I didn't go to John Jay. I'm not a police officer. I'm certainly not an informant. So they wanted to apply pressure. So they tickled the wire. They said to one of the people that was betting with us, knock on the door, they ask him questions during betting hours about something that happened. And eventually he calls me, he says, you believe what happened with this, and this? He said, they're definitely going in the wrong direction. Now, they're all geared up. Now, they bullshitted the major crime unit, bullshitted the prosecutor just to get that wire tickled because it was a major crime they were looking for, and they leaned on us. My genius partner says, because we knew the phones were tapped because I had the info, I don't know how. It just came to me. So anyway, long story short, he said, let's stay and get pinched. All right. Everything was supposed to go in that Saturday. So I go in and tell all the guys, there was a lot of us. I said, we're getting pinched today. Okay. Sure enough, we get pinched. Well, now the prosecutor, so they said they want to talk about it. I said, I don't know anything about this. Well, if you know they're going in the wrong direction, you must know the right direction. Well, you assuming it was me or somebody I know, so I know what it is. I don't want to know the right direction, you morons. So anyway, the cops want to drop it, but the prosecutor, because of the name, now indicts me on a state RICO. Okay, state RICO, once they indict you, you can't plea out less than 1 to 3. You know that. So they offered me 5 to 15, and maximum is 12.5 to 25. So now I load up because you don't want to catch another case in the state while you're facing a state RICO, because if they give you a felony for that one, they're not going to plea out. Now you're going up to the 12.5 to 25, but minimum 2 to 4. Either ways. Follow me? So you cannot have to plea out to 1 to 3 if you plea. If you go to trial, it's both trial, and they can run it consecutive. So it was a mess. So now I'm not giving up gambling at this point, God forbid. So I buy 2 Land Cruisers, and I had a big sedan, and we commuted to Philadelphia every day. That's how we meet this gentleman. So while we're there, it's a very, very big bettor. Also a very big, so anyway, moving forward. Bowel movement. So anyway, BM. So that's how we become friends. I meet him out there, and he starts giving me this action, a lot of action, heavy action. And it's a funny story. When I get back to New York, and they're very mad that I ended up beating them on the state RICO, because prior, though I met him before this, what happened is he goes bad. I meet him before. This is how I go to Philadelphia. He sets it up for me. Because Philadelphia doesn't count New York. So he's built kind of like me. So I was at a friend of mine's wedding, so I have him cover for me at the office. So I make him wear my lucky sweatsuit, my lucky sunglasses. I'm very superstitious. And carry my lucky, you see it, my lucky hitting machine. So in order to get the warrant, they identify me at the office, right? I don't know this because we don't know until discovery. It's how I beat the case. They identify me at the office, and it's him. And I'm standing at an altar being videoed, being best man at someone's wedding. So that's how I end up going to Philadelphia, but he came in to do it for me. So now we become friendly. And why he comes in is he was putting all this action in through me and saying it was customers. And this is the problem with this business. And he gets a little jammed up, he gets a little over his head, and he sends it. So my figure with him for the week, it was usually 100, 100 and a half. This one, 720,000, right? So I don't hear from him, and I get a call. And he's like in tears. I says, where are you? He says, I'm in Florida. I says, what are you doing there? Got a suntan? No, I screwed up. I says, well, come back. Are you mad at me? I said, no, work it out. What are you, crazy? You got big action. Just stop betting. You can't bet with me while you're doing this. He comes back, but I tell him he's got to answer the phones in the office, so I keep an eye on him. I can't let him do it again, trying to bet out. Because he does like the chase, but he follows me now and he does well. So, long story short, he's there running the office, and I got his stuff coming in. First week he's with me. He's miserable. He thinks he's going to hate it. He's taking the train from Philadelphia. I'm picking him up at a place he calls Poughkeepsie. It's Poughkeepsie. It looks like that. And moving forward, they identify him there, but it's me, and that's how I beat the case. The warrant gets thrown out. So had I not helped him, you know, I wouldn't have beat the case. And we worked it out, and he went back to that, but he had a time of his life the whole football season. And he's still turning action into me, and he was a very, very, very big bettor. So there's going to be a degenerate story each week. Okay, comments. You want to pull them up?
Sure.
All right, so let's see what we got. I didn't look at him. So is anybody abusing me this week?
We shall find out.
I'm in a zone.
Let's see here.
Imagine that. I asked him to wear my lucky thing, everything.
It was very lucky for you.
What?
I said it was very lucky for you.
Yeah, which now allowed me to go to Philadelphia because he helped me, and I ended up helping him. And I didn't take dollar for dollar on the money. Run this business and I earned money with him, and I let him out of it.
Let's see, you got a few thank yous. Good luck with the hip.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you well.
What? Thank you very, very much.
Let's see.
Anything people put up their games, listen, it's important. I do look at them. I looked at all of them. I can't remember them. The ones that put them up early, which you have, some of them have been doing. When I do it, it also makes me understand what you're betting. I'm never going to tell you did something wrong. If I see something obvious, I'll talk you off the ledge. But this is how you learn. Remember, have an idea of your own line. Anthony, that's why when Anthony comes, I always have next week's schedule. He prints it up for me. So I'm already starting to look at it. And then after I evaluate it, I have an idea what my line should be and where it's off is important. So when you saw the 1 star, the line was off, but I didn't know how to evaluate the rest of it. Then there's one's offense, defense, one special teams. And the third one is, the fifth one is if there's information on the down low, under the table, off the chart, all that nonsense. Follow me, back channels. So when you hear me say 5 stars, don't make me say it. Go ahead.
Let's see. David Rodriguez, he had the New England money line.
I think he did okay, right?
No.
No?
Patriots lost.
What?
Patriots lost.
Oh, he was on the right side. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Let's see. Paulson, our friend.
No, I like the way he bets. I just think he bets too many games. But he does do. I just hope he doesn't bet when he's stuck more. But if he likes a game more, well, you should do that before. Not how the day turns out. Stick with your program. I went against us this week, but I'm not getting in quicksand. I will win by the end of the season. That may be conservative. That's the discipline. What you do is your business. But my advice is, if you lose and you were going to bet it as a normal unit, then you bet 5 units because you're stuck, anything could happen. Go ahead.
Well, I think he did all right. He had the.
I hope he did. I like him.
He favored the Bucks originally, but whatever site he uses, he uses Bet365. It looks like he said had the Falcons 5.5, so he took them. They won outright, so good on him. Let's see,
Philly had a good week.
Philly Raiders. Well, I think it's a blowout. Philly struggles. Raiders blah blah blah. 30.5. Line, maybe. Line was 12.5, too ridiculous based on Philly's performances to date. So hopefully he didn't go with the Raiders in that because Philly did put up a great performance.
I told you, when a team, the owner's betting, and they actually agrees, they try to win. But if he starts losing in other areas, he's gambling. He may take the dive too.
Yeah. Let's see. This person had Bucks, Texans, Eagles, Jags, Bears, Bills parlay.
How'd he do?
Oh,
Bills, you won.
No, Bucks lost.
Bucks lost.
Well, I don't know. I assume that these are all money line because I don't see any spreads in the comment. Okay. But the Bucks lost, so if it was a parlay, he lost the parlay.
But he had some good teams in there.
Texans won, Eagles won, Jags won, Bears won, Bills won. So he was right on everything else.
If you regularly bet parlays, I told you, I don't want to preach, but you regularly bet parlays, they're tough to win overall if you bet a lot of them in a lot of teams. Go ahead. And they're robbing you too. Go ahead. What else we got?
Let's see. This person said team totals. So he's betting just the team totals.
What do you mean team totals?
You can bet like how many points you think each team is going to score.
It's a prop bet.
Yeah, prop.
It's a specialized area. I don't want to get into it because it changes from season to season. You got to recalculate and reevaluate.
Well,
what I do is historic. Go ahead.
Well, if you bet all these that he said.
Okay, everybody that's putting up there, I don't mean to step on you yet. But you weren't very empathetic that I'm half dead over here with my bronchitis.
What do you want? I can't help it.
Tell me, you're still kicking yourself over the vax, right?
Yeah, listen,
the rule is we don't chase. We stick with it. You don't be upset. Don't be upset about it. But tell them how am I when I?
No, when you have a feel, it's been good.
Very good. Inherently, right?
Yeah.
And I should stay with sometimes original. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it again. The Panther team, 6 ways of Sunday. I lay it again. I was hoping if it wins, we hit the money parlay. Like early on, Paulson challenged a lot of stuff I did. A lot of stuff was, and I can explain why I did it, but sometimes it doesn't make sense to people. But people that put their bets up early have the right to challenge or talk. Yeah. And I give them a lot of credit to do that.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a Monday morning quarterback.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
No, it just don't make sense. And if you're not putting your bets up, you're not betting. You just want to bother me. I mean, what's the sense of surfing the net to find somebody to bother? Am I botherable?
People are too bored with their life.
I don't know. I don't want to judge people. Listen, positive energy gets positive things. I'm going to start giving you a degenerate gamble story each week because I got some good ones. I'm going to make you for the next 4,000 weeks, I can give you a Randy story. It's probably the most entertaining character in sports betting history. So we're going to start off, remind me next week with a Randy story.
That I can do.
Okay, listen. Next week is Christmas. We'll be here for our Christmas episode. Right? Next week is Christmas.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Following week is New Year's. We got 2 weeks left of the season. I think it's going to be an interesting playoffs. I think it's going to be interesting the way it turns out. I wish everybody a lot of health and luck. Those that wish me that. You are always in my prayers, and I thank you. Sorry, this one went a little bit longer, 48 minutes, but we had a lot to say. Just remember something. When you put me under fire for not picking games, if I don't see it, I'm not going to do it just for the show. Or if people put their money on it, I don't want that karma. It's not what I do. It's not what I'm here to do. But when I do see it, I say it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the well wishes. I did get a date for my surgery. It's January 16th. Those who like me wish me well. Others, you can get what's that little guy? The Pillsbury Doughboy, and you can stick needles in them. And hopefully I come out of it. It's going to be a rough one. And there's a lot going on. And then we'll be back over here.
That we will be.
I think that's a Friday, so I don't think I'm going to miss, unless I die. I have an aneurysm or embolism. You know, I see how happy you got when I talked about my bronchitis.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. Yeah, there's some dangers, but I don't really care. I don't like living sick. Good luck to everybody, and I hope everybody wins this week. I didn't look to see that anybody. I don't look until after we post the thing who put them up, right? They should put them up on last week's if they want to show them early. I don't know exactly when today's game is going on. I'm going to tell you what game I'm going to pick. I don't think there'll be a parlay this week. There should have been one last week, but who knows? That's the way the football bounces. Well, tomorrow I think I'm doing Angel Gotti's podcast. She reached out to Lee Cole for me to do it. That's a family I do like. I think she's a nice kid. I know a long time. So I'm going to do the podcast. I don't know what information I give it, but it will be entertaining. If you want to tune in to see me, I think I'm better interviewed than interviewing. I don't like to ask questions. So just remember, we're filming it here, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we're doing Angel Gotti's podcast. She asked me to do it for the holidays. I'm more than happy to help her. She's struggled in a lot of ways. A lot of unfortunate things happened to her. I wish that family the best. And tune in on a podcast to if you want to see me interview, and we have some interesting stories. Okay, and thank you.
Of
Especially all
course.
the empathy you gave me when I'm dying over here about guidance.
Anytime.
And thank you guys. Thank you for the well wishes.